I think what you have to really credit him for is I think all the the development through his time here at OU, but even after, he kept working and he's polished. His throwing motion, all of it. He's improved every year. I think from the time he got to Oklahoma and just kept improving. And again, the job, not just what Lincoln did, but then after being drafted, continuing to progress. And he's a big, strong guy. Everybody knows can really run it, but he's really polished all his throwing, and you got to give it to him. Good for him. And yes, he's a complete package now as you watch him.
It's time for the Stoops Review with Toby Rowland, TJ Perry, and Hall of Fame head coach Bob Stoops. The Stoops Review is brought to you every week by Stride Bank. With local roots and national reach, Stride Bank is your go-to partner for all your banking needs. Stride Bank, your trusted financial partner since 1913. And now, with the Stoops Review, here's Toby Rowland, TJ Perry, and Bob Stoops.
All right, we got Coach coming up here in just a second. Quick. Oh, he's with us now. We welcome in now the winningest coach in OU football history, the great Bob Stoops. Howdy, Coach.
Good morning, Toby, TJ. Good to be with you. I tried to answer, and I hit the wrong button, cut you off.
It happens.
I'm used to that, yeah.
Yeah, it happens. Those phones are hard to figure out sometimes. Well, Coach.
Of the Super Bowl was it?
I know. A bit of a yawner last night. What'd you think about Eagles 40, Chiefs 22?
Well, I guess it was bound to happen with the Chiefs. I bragged on, and how could you not, Andy Reid and Mahomes and but no one's ever won 3 in a row. I kind of kept saying that all week, and there's something to that. And and then just the ability to run, the Eagles with Saquon, even though they sort of limit him, good for Jalen Hurts. Had a big day, especially, him coming back after throwing that interception early. So good for him. Couldn't happen to a better guy. And, boy, they looked, and we kept talking about the Eagles defense all week also, and they really proved it yesterday.
I was wrong, as I am about almost everything. I was wrong about Jalen Hurts in the NFL. I did not see this coming from him. He's tremendous. He was tremendous last night. He was the Super Bowl MVP, and it was deserved. I don't know. What did you see him being this good of a pro quarterback coming out of OU, Coach?
I think what you have to really credit him for is I think all the development through his time here at OU, but even after, he kept working and he's polished. His throwing motion, all of it. He's improved every year. I think from the time he got to Oklahoma and just kept improving. And again, the job, not just what Lincoln did, but then after being drafted, continuing to progress. And he's a big, strong guy. Everybody knows can really run it, but he's really polished all his throwing, and you got to give it to him. Good for him. And yes, he's a complete package now as you watch him.
I feel like that he's perfect for Philadelphia too. I mean, I get maybe Youngstown and Philadelphia are kind of mentality-wise kind of close to each other, but he's no nonsense, no frills. I mean, you know how they can get on you up there if they don't like you very much. But he seems perfect for that city.
I agree totally. You're not going to get him up high or down low. He's going to always be consistent. Just an amazing person as a young man. So God bless him. I mean, he is really Super Bowl MVP. You're right. He's perfect for that team, for that area.
I know you love great defense, Coach. The Chiefs Patrick Mahomes couldn't breathe last night. That Philly defense was unbelievable.
Yeah, coverage-wise and the D-line, you could tell how determined they were not to let him out of the pocket. and they collapsed the pocket, a good bit. Would they have 6 or 7 sacks, I think, and forced turnovers? They really bothered him. He didn't have that. He scrambles around and buys that extra couple seconds, and somebody breaks open, and that didn't happen very much yesterday. So you gotta credit their Vic Fangio, their long time D coordinator in the league, and always has a great reputation, and that was probably one of his better defenses through the years.
How was the Stoops Super Bowl party last night? Did you have a big shindig?
I sat here and watched the game by myself.
That's a guy after my own heart right there.
That's the guy that wants to watch the game. My kids were up in the city with friends, and I was invited to go find them, but I like to pay attention to the game too much, and my wife's treating my dog down in Tampa for a few weeks. I got a sick dog that we're having some treatment on. Yeah, hopefully it'll be okay. So anyway, I sat here and just concentrated on the game.
Coach, you should have called me and TJ. We would have come over and hung out with you. That sounds awful lonely.
You'd have been critical of my game day menu. I didn't have much of one. What'd you have last night? What was your Super Bowl spread? I had some leftover Dinos from down the street there on 36.
Is that pizza?
No. I had some cheese ravioli and sausage and peppers.
All right. That's a little sad, Teach. We should have.
Yeah, I should have brought the queso and my wings over, Coach.
I wish I had known. Next year, you give us a shout. We'll come over, and I know your house may not have a lot of space in it, but we'll squeeze in there and we'll watch the game with you next year.
I think I can handle you.
You a big Kendrick Lamar fan? Did you enjoy the halftime show, Coach? You strike me as a big Kendrick Lamar guy.
Yeah, fortunately, I needed a break right then, so I took a little time off from being in front of the TV.
That's probably
I'm all for whoever. He must be good if he was there. So all the best to him.
Yeah, all the best to him. I saw this last night. I don't know if it's true. It was on Twitter. I haven't vetted it out, but it said now with Hurts last night, 3 Sooners have scored touchdowns in a Super Bowl. Now, this came off the amazing fact last night that Xavier Worthy is the first ever Texas Longhorn to score a touchdown in a Super Bowl. That's unfathomable. And Devontae Smith, it said Devontae Smith is the first Alabama player to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl, which can't be right, but that's what it said.
That doesn't seem right with Derrick Henry, although maybe they haven't. I don't know. Yeah.
It said 3 Sooners. Can you guys name the 3 Sooners? One of them is Jalen Hurts. The other 2, TJ, this is tough. I couldn't get either one of them.
Not Mark Andrews?
Not Mark Andrews, apparently, according to Twitter anyway. Kenny King with the Raiders.
I would have never got that.
And Damian Williams had a couple of years ago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Sure did with the Chiefs, yeah.
Now, Troy Aikman's got a bunch. Jalen Hurts last night. Troy Aikman's got a bunch, but they weren't counting him as a Sooner, so I don't know what gets you to be a Sooner and not be a Sooner. But anyway, there may be people filling up our text line right now throwing out other names, but at least according to Twitter last night, that's what. The Alabama and Texas thing, though, is stunning,
right, that's
isn't it?
Surprising.
Yeah. Maybe they're not counting quarterbacks because Namath went to Alabama. Oh, that might have been pre-Super Bowl, though. Anyway. Yep, so the NFL season is over, and now we all get to kick back and watch the Arlington Renegades go after another title, Coach.
Yeah, we'll be out there March 29th. That's Saturday. First game's at 3 o'clock in Choctaw Stadium. So come on down. You need your football fix. We'll be down there playing.
I saw you filled out your coaching staff this week. You got Chuck as offensive coordinator. Any other things to highlight there about who your coaches are going to be?
Yeah, Chuck Long will be, the O coordinator like he has been. And then, Jay Hayes and Marvin Sanders. Marvin had been with Bo Pelini in Nebraska for a long time. And Chris Woods. Chris Woods was around here in an off-field position at OU for a while. I'll be coaching linebackers, but anyway, a lot of the same guys that I've had the last few years.
I did get a text that said Devontae Smith is the first Alabama player to catch a touchdown pass. So maybe it's just a wide receiver thing. Maybe they've had some running backs or something like that. So, all right. So the XFL season is right around the corner. Patty's crew on the diamond, Coach. They start 6-0. Their pursuit of a fifth consecutive national championship out in California just kind of made my heart warmer this weekend, seeing some diamond action again, even if it was 1,000 miles away from us or whatever out there.
Yeah, that softball's fun to watch, though. You know what? I've become a big fan of baseball now that they've got a clock.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't stand. I want to hear the tradition and all that. There's way too much wasted time for me before. But now when you go to these games, it's boom, 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 and it makes sense. Everyone else has a shot clock in basketball or football, right? I mean, why wouldn't you have one in baseball? And now that they have it, I watch it and really enjoy it now. And then softball has always been a fast-paced game and fun to watch. I love watching them.
TJ, you okay? You going to hang up on Coach or anything?
No, I'm not going to hang up on Coach. I wouldn't do that.
He just said he loves the clock in baseball.
I know
that's one of your pet peeves here.
But it's the one thing.
TJ likes he liked all that wasted time.
Well, it didn't bother me, Coach. I'm a big baseball guy, but I've got to admit that's the one of the changes that recently that I can't agree with. So it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would.
Yeah, no, they made a fan out of me now, but not that they cared, but.
No, they
but
do.
I do
I
like
think that's
wanted.
exactly
Yeah,
the
that's
point,
exactly what
is
they
to
wanted,
try to win over some people who may not have been before and make the game faster paced. So you are an example that it's working. That's great. Coach, if you could pick one NFL player to start your franchise with today, you take over as head coach and they say, all right, you can pick anybody in the league right now to start your team with. Who would you take?
Oh, well, I'm biased. I'm gonna go probably with Baker.
Oh, I like that answer.
Well, one of those guys, Baker, Jalen, or Kyler.
He's loyal, TJ. See, TJ, that's how you're loyal to the Sooners right there. Yeah,
that's right.
I love that. That was good to see Baker get that. Even though it was late, he got the Pro Bowl invite. Much deserved. All right, what do we got percolating for Coach on the text line there, TJ?
Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Hey, Coach, do you think Casey's refusal to run the ball led to Philly's intense pass rush?
Well, you got a point. I mean, but the point being they could have probably tried to be a little more forceful with the run game early, but they had no choice once they got down a few scores. Once you get someone one-dimensional and they know it, man, those D linemen are relentless. So, that probably is a fair point. They probably needed to try and run it a little more. Or they just realized they couldn't, the other part of that.
Yeah.
When you're watching a game by yourself, Coach, are you talking out loud to the screen?
No.
What? Run the ball. What are they doing? Why aren't they running the ball? You're not doing that?
No, that's not me. I don't talk to myself.
Yeah, that sounds about right, I guess. What else you got, TJ?
Wallace says he's happy to see Coach Long joining the staff again, and what can we expect in Arlington this season?
Hopefully a little better squad than a year ago. I think we are lucky. We do have Luis Perez, our quarterback, back, and who's like a coach on the field, and a lot of the same big play receivers that we had a year ago. So anyhow, we'll, defensively we weren't very good. I think we could be a lot better there, and we'll miss Jalen Redmond isn't going to be with us since he's starting now in the NFL, which is great.
Great
so
story.
We'll miss him, but hopefully we could be a little better defensively.
Do you have the Rocks number in your cell phone, Coach?
I don't think I do. No, but he comes around a fair bit. A wonderful guy, great guy to be around, as is Danny Garcia also. But they come around, and they're always really friendly and easy to be with and be around.
That would be a pretty good flex, Tej, if you can, just dial up the rock whenever you want.
Yeah, I've got him here. I've got him.
You got it
Yeah.
in your cell phone?
Right,
Hey,
right below Joe Namath.
Coach, Ja Morant's father got kicked out of the game Saturday night. I don't know if you saw this or not. TJ, did you see this?
I did not know
the
this.
Thunder.
No.
The Thunder were playing the Grizzlies in Memphis. Late in the game, the referees go tell security to have this guy removed from the front row. And turns out it's Ja Morant's dad. He's been just abusing the refs all night long, and they finally had enough. I guess he crossed the line or whatever. He got kicked out. What was Bob Stoops, the dad, like watching your boys play football? Are you pretty reserved, or are you getting after the refs a little bit?
Oh, no. I'm very reserved, very quiet. All I do is cheer for our team, and that's it. So I was always very aware of, of just – and it's easy for me to behave. I don't I might get after a ref when it's OU football and I'm on the sideline through those period of time, but I even got quieter as my time on the sidelines. Even I started to, I'm wasting my time doing this. So no, I'm very quiet in games to the refs.
TJ charged an umpire one time.
I did not charge an umpire.
Game.
I went out there to calm down the coaches from charging the umpire. The game was over. I was the peacemaker. You have twisted this story over the years.
That's the way most of us remember it anyway.
Yeah, that's how you want to remember it.
Yeah. You did get quite. Now that you brought that up, Coach, you did get a little calmer as your career went along, didn't you? Was that just aging or just I don't know. You tell me. It seemed like press conferences, sidelines, everything. You kind of dialed it back a little bit. I'm just talking about the emotions.
Yeah, the longer you're out there, and you just realize, what's important and what's. I think sometimes if you overreact, even to officials, it affects your players, because then they start paying attention to that more than what they're trying to do on the field. So. I don't know. I just I found it to be a waste of time, and and I didn't want my players to be to notice it or to be affected by it.
The interesting relationship for me in football is always that line judge that has to be right in front of you all day. I would imagine you've had some pretty fun or interesting or heated or those interactions. That guy can't go anywhere. The white hat can run back out on the field and ignore you. That guy's got to deal with you all day.
No doubt about it. No, a lot of those guys we get pretty entertained by. You know what I mean? Or they get to laughing at me or one of my coaches, or I get to laughing at them about something. And there's a lot of those little subtle interactions that are really pretty comical.
You get to know the personalities of all the referees and everything. I mean, you get to know. You have them so many times, you get to know them, right?
That's exactly right. And, and then once you know them, it's hard to get mad at them. So in the end, they're doing the best job they can, and that's all you can ask.
We had a rough week with the men's basketball team, Coach. A couple of lopsided losses here. They still got a chance to make the tourney. They're still in all the projections and everything. But TJ and I were talking early. I'm a little worried about their psyche right now after, I know they were really good teams they lost to, but those are hard games to bounce back from.
Yeah, when you're, when you sort of get down so early, so much, it is hard to fight back. But that's all you can do. You gotta find any positives you can. Correct some of the maybe little things that you can correct, and find a way to, to get some life back in them, and play a really good game, and things can change and turn around.
Yeah, well, it's 8 8 games to go and another tough one at Missouri on Wednesday, but hopefully they can that would be a big one. If they could get that and get things headed back in the right direction, that would help a lot.
Exactly.
I know you're pulling for Porter hard.
Yeah. The Porter's a great guy, great man, and it's been an excellent coach. So he just got to hang in there and stay positive as you can.
All right, we got one more on the text line for you, Coach, and then we'll let you go. What do you got, TJ?
This one here out of the 580 says, Coach, what are your thoughts about Grant Calcaterra getting him a Super Bowl after all the issues he had throughout college with the concussions and everything else he dealt with?
Yeah, really happy for Grant. I can remember being in his house out in L.A. recruiting him. So he's a triplet, he's one of 3. So really great family. So happy for him that he's been able to come back, stay healthy. And then I saw him get that onside kick there at the end of the game. So good for him.
Coach, we appreciate it. Next year, if you're all alone for the Super Bowl, give us a shout. All right?
Okay, guys. Great to be with you. Boomer Sooner.
See you, Coach.